and the Opie itself, it's very close to you right now. So if you're around Opie, you should be taking cover right now from this. If you're in Emporia, Neosho Rapids, you're not in the path of this potential tornado, but you are in the path of the severe storm that has potential for winds up to 70 miles per hour. That's a possibility. I also want to let you know that we've been watching a storm a little farther to the north as well that has signs of rotation too. That's going to be this activity that's just to the south of Redding and close to Lebo. So they haven't put out a tornado warning for this, at least not yet, but there's rotation showing up right there on the Coffey and Lyon County county lines there, going right over I-35 at this point. That's rotating too, and it also needs to be monitored very closely. So if you're in Burlington, if you're in New Strawn, I mean, anywhere in Coffey County, really anywhere in Coffey County, you should be paying close attention to this. So just a heads up there for the folks that are in Coffey County, New Strawn, Burlington, Leroy. You are in the path of, first of all, you're in the path of this tornado warning at this point, but you're also in the path of this rotation that's close to Lebo at this time as it's making its way to the east and southeast. So again, the tornado warning right now is in place for Lyon County. We don't have a huge population center there in the southeast part of Lyon County, of course. But Opie, you should be taking cover. I'll tell you that if you're in Opie, most likely this is going to be south of you. So in Opie, the next time we have an update on this warning, I'd almost guarantee you this thing gets dropped for Opie, at least cropped off for that area pretty soon here. Again, it's moving off to the southeast, as Daniel mentioned. Say 25 miles per hour, is that the speed on this?
35 miles per hour.
35, okay, so it won't take very long for that to get over into Coffey County. So let's zoom out a bit and look at who in Coffey County would then be in the path of this. Gridley and Burlington, both should be watching that storm very closely. So as Daniel mentioned, we got 35 mile per hour motion off to the southeast. So we'll do the cone track here from the most likely area of what could be a potential tornado, and I have to take the zoom out a little bit farther here to get that actually on. Let's do it one more time here. So the cone track from the what would be a tornado if it is off to the east, 35 miles per hour, 34 is fine. We'll be looking at Burlington 7:12 p.m. If it goes a little farther to the southeast instead of straight east, we'll be looking at it getting to areas like Hasty. It's at 7:29. And Burlington, again, about 10 to 15 minutes after 7 p.m. So that's where the tornado potentially would be at this point. Now I'm going to check out the camera from Emporia. I don't think I'll have a very good view of this because of the heavy rain that's falling between the camera and the rotations. It gets a little farther to the east. I may get a better look at this, but that's the live look from our camera that's on the west side of Emporia right now. I've got it looking straight to the east at this point. As I was watching the hail, looked like it might have been passing there by town. So now I'm looking off to the southeast there across this storm. And even though I'm looking through a lot of rain, we'll take a chance here and just see if I can pick out any sort of rotation or lowering there. You know, I can make a case that that could be the problem area right there that's south of Emporia. I don't see something that's conclusive there on the tower camera, but that's the area we'll be watching again, and this is going to be making its way over into Coffey County shortly. But right now, that rotation appears to be just south of Opie a couple of miles, and it won't be long before it starts moving over into Coffey County. So it's kind of watching any of those lowerings there. But we're looking through very heavy rain, even some hail on the way over that storm. So it's difficult to see what might be there. All right, southeast part of Lyon County. This is the tornado warning area right there, making its way to the southeast at 35 miles per hour. So Opie, again, you're officially in the tornado warning right now. It won't last very long, and you'll be out of this. But the rural areas of southeast Lyon County, that's where the risk is. Really to the east of Highway 99 at this point. I'm going to put back the velocity and see if it's impressive as it was a moment ago. Actually more impressive now than it was a moment ago. I'd say right about here is most likely the area that would produce a tornado, if anything. But there's actually two areas of rotation that show up there just south of Opie. We'll check out the data and how fast the stuff's moving here. We've got a 65 mile per hour pixel there on the radar. And then to the east of that, it's not a huge number, But, you know, minus 2 versus 67 there, you've got some significant area of rotation, again, just southeast of Olpe. This area to the north here that's getting close to Lebo and just east of Neosho Rapids, that has a rotation as well, and all of these are making their way into Coffey County, really. So if you're in Gridley, Burlington, New Strawn, or it's John Redmond Reservoir, if you have friends or family that might be out at John Redmond Reservoir right now, I would give them a call and let them know that there's a high possibility of having very dangerous storms moving into that area of Wolf Creek over here. That's not a problem for them, but just something to be aware of. If you have friends or family that work over there, we've got these two different rotating storms that are making their way in that direction. The tornado warning right now is the southeast part of Lyon County. Again, I mentioned Olpe. If you're in Olpe, take cover right now, but the next update of this warning when it comes out, I'm very sure they will drop Olpe, at least that part of the area, from that warning. Daniel, have anything?
Nothing new so far here. We're just looking at, again, that continued severe storm warning from earlier. And again, that tornado warning still in place at the moment until, the tornado warning has been continued here. Hail of about 1.25 inches. So yeah, 4 miles southeast of Olpe, moving east at 30 miles per hour. It seems that storm, that forward speed of it has slowed down here just a little bit, but those locations impacted listed on the warning still include those in the immediate vicinity of Olpe. So again, if you're within that area, you'll want to be taking cover or be very ready to be taking cover shortly.
All right, thank you, Daniel. So we're going to look at the tower camera here. We're looking straight south from the west side of Emporia that I'm going to bring up here. This Emporia cam provided by ValueNet Fiber. And I do see some lowering of the clouds there. You know, I can't tell if that's the exact area that they're talking about. There's at least 2 different spots there that are just to the east and southeast of Olpe where we're seeing that rotation. So turn the camera here. This is almost due south from the camera. Now we're looking kind of to the south, southeast. And I'm going to turn this until I'm looking almost straight southeast from Emporia. And again, I just don't see it on the ground. In this situation, I'll be looking through a lot of rain, even some hail there to the storm. But again, if you're in Emporia, you are not in the path of this potential tornado. If you are anywhere in northeast Kansas, it's not going to be a tornado situation. We have a lot of areas from Topeka to Lawrence over to Manhattan where there's storms that are close by. So I don't want to worry folks to think this is a big widespread issue. It's a small part of the WIBW viewing region that has this tornado warning, but the threat there very real in the southeast part of Lyon County and making its way toward Coffey County. So really a heads up for you folks over in Coffey County, around Burlington, the Burlington area. You're not in a tornado warning yet, but there's a very high likelihood in the next 15 minutes or so that Burlington would be included in a tornado warning. So just a heads up for Gridley and Burlington. This is likely heading in your direction. I'm checking out the debris mode here on radar. I don't think that's what I'm picking up there. It's just the right spot, but I don't think that's what I'm picking up as debris. But the rotation is there just a couple of miles to the southeast of Olpe. Let me get the distance on this from Olpe. So your rotation is about 5.5 miles southeast of Olpe at this point. And as Daniel let us know, the motion on this was 35 miles per hour to the southeast. And tornadoes don't always say that same direction. You have something, Daniel?
No, nothing new. It does seem to be moving more east of south, at least according to the radar here, or at least that warning, that text warning issued by the National Weather Service. So again, we're still continuing that warning, and we'll see if that gets extended here into parts of Coffey County and areas near Burlington. You'll especially want to keep an eye on this. Okay,
so Leroy, Burlington, Gridley, over to New Strawn, and for folks that might be at John Redmond Reservoir, you would be in the path of this as well. So again, it's a tornado warning. For the rotation spotted on the radar. A National Weather Service trained storm spotter also indicated they saw rotation with this. So that's a good sign when they say they've seen rotation. That means that they're not reporting that they have a confirmed tornado. So the rotation there about 5.5, maybe 6 miles southeast of Olpe, and it is making its way farther to the east east and southeast, and should be over into Coffey County here in the next few minutes. There's also the other area of rotation that I was watching to the north, storm that's close to Lebo and making its way toward New Strawn, and this one's shown up pretty persistent rotation. Your rotation area here will be just south of Lebo, maybe 5 miles. I'll check the distance on that. From Lebo to the south, yeah, about 4 or 5 miles south of Lebo, just to the north of John Redmond Reservoir. That's a rotation as well. So the one to the north also has a significant area of rotation with it. The southern storm is the one that has a tornado warning with it at this point. So, I mean, I'd be concerned about both of them, but right now the one to the north has the tornado warning. What's that update coming in, Daniel?
That new update is for the severe thunderstorm warning, which is still relaying that same info from a few minutes ago. Southeast at 35 miles per hour, 70 mile per hour wind gusts, and quarter-sized hail associated with this storm. There is a difference, though, with the motion, or the general forward motion of the severe storm compared to the tornado warning. The warning of the tornado is indicating that it's moving east at 30 miles per hour, but again, most of us are going to see the impacts, if not all of us, really, from the severe storm here. So again, you'll want to be prepared and be taking cover soon if you're within this area, just because of what we're indicating here on the radar.
All right, thank you, Daniel. So seeing a persistent rotation there that's in the southeast parts of Lyon County. It's a highly rural part of the area, but it is moving toward areas like Burlington. So you can see Burlington in the path of this. So heads up, if you got friends or family that are in Burlington, let them know. This is about 15 miles away, so it'll take a while to get there. It could take a good maybe 45 minutes or so to get to Burlington. But in Burlington, and if you have friends or family there, call and let them know this is coming their way. We'll continue covering it here on TV, but just a good idea to holler at them. No, go ahead, just leave it. So that's just a good idea to make sure that they're aware. If you know anybody there, give them a call and let them know this thing is coming in that direction. Let's check out the camera again from Emporia, looking to the southeast at this, and it's just far enough, and it's looking through the storms there, so it's kind of hard to get a really good eyeball on this when it's there. It's not that it's too far away, it's just that we're looking through the heaviest part of the storm through the hail and rain there, and it makes it hard to pick something out. That's probably hail we're looking at, where it looks just like it's a bright white cloud, basically. That's most likely hail. That's between us and the storm on the camera. Trying to pick it out if I can. All right, so I just don't think I'm going to see it. I really think that what you're looking at right there, down in the middle of the shot, if you can see my mouse going across the screen there, I'm not sure if you can. No, you can't, but right there in the middle, I think that's hail that we're looking at right here. So this is going to be in the southeast part of Lyon County, with that kind of just white shaded area, almost surely a big area of hail that's in place. All right, so again, tornado warning continuing for the southeast part of Lyon County. We'll zoom this back out. The tornado warning right there just got cropped off, and Olpe is out of it. I mentioned that a few minutes ago, that when the warning was updated, they would almost surely drop Olpe from this. Daniel, what's the update say there?
Still looking for that update to refresh here in the NWS chat, but it does look like from on the radar here, what I'm seeing is that tornado warning did get, it has shrunken in its size here, so now it is just the very southeastern corner of Lyon County. So if you're within that area here, where we can again see on radar, it's a radar indicated tornado, not confirmed yet, but it's about as classic as they come, what we look for on the radar to see for tornadoes possibly forming.
All right, thank you, Daniel. So that's the area right there, and the Weather Service update does mention it's mainly over rural areas of the southeast part of Lyon County.
Yep,
so we're letting you guys know that. Anyway, there's still people down there. I know there's a lot of folks that live out there in the country. So Burlington, Gridley, New Strawn, those are the next population centers that we have to be concerned about, as well as John Redmond Reservoir. Now, tornadoes especially don't take straight lines. If you're looking at tornado circulations, they generally will move east or southeast and then kind of meander back and forth between the two. So you won't see one of these where it's just, straight east for several hours in a row. They'll kind of go east and southeast, east, southeast for the most part. So right now, again, we have the two different areas of circulation. The one to the north does not have a tornado warning with it. It's this one in the southeast part of Lyon County that has a tornado warning with it at this point. And in general, the southern storm will have the higher chance of actually producing a tornado. But you can have multiples that can do it, obviously, on one of these lines. But that one to the south, because it doesn't have anything really south of it to block it off, it has a higher probability of having spin to it. So southeast Lyon County going until 7 p.m. That's another, 13 minutes here in the tornado warning for the southeast part of Lyon County. So Burlington, Gridley, again, Coffey County is not in this tornado warning yet, but from the structure of that storm, what I'm seeing on this is you've got the rotation here we talked about. Now, looking just kind of outside of that, you can see the top part of the storm is spreading out, getting bigger. It means that storm is likely, I'm not going to say intensifying, but it is getting bigger up top, so it's getting wider. It means it's not necessarily falling apart, and the rotation, the hook, doesn't show up as well pronounced here in the last frame, but it may be recycling or getting going again. But this is still a very powerful storm and has a tornado warning with it. So we'll continue live covering this here on WIBW TV. I'm not sure if we have a stream going yet. We'll have it going here in a few moments. I want to take you back over to the camera, too, because this thing's almost surely showing the big hail out of this thing. Let's go back to cams here. And I would take you from the Emporia cam from the western part of Emporia is where we're seeing it. And we're looking certainly through the hail shaft at this point, trying to see the tornado. So I don't see a tornado in there at this point. It's almost impossible to see that from where we are from this position. But that's a hail shaft almost for sure right here. It's like kind of a glowing white area, kind of from left to right there. That's the hail shaft. It's going to be hail about the size of ping pong balls that's falling over the southeast part of Lyon County. And that can do a lot of damage to crops and certainly damage your car and to your roof and those kind of things. But we're looking again from the Emporia camera right about here on the west side of town. We're looking through some of the rain, through the hail core, toward the rotation here in the southeast part of the county. So again, hard to pick it out from that angle. But the rotation just about to move over into Coffey County in the next few minutes. And, it's just, there's two areas of rotation with that. One that's getting close to John Redmond Reservoir, almost right on top of it now, and the one that's coming across the southeast part of Lyon County. Daniel, what do you have?
We have, it's a bit outdated, but at around 6:32 p.m. here, we're looking at a report from National Weather Service Topeka forecaster here that there was reports of a funnel/possible tornado on Road 40 south of Olpe here. Yep, there it is. We can see it on the radar. So that is confirmed as at least 15 minutes ago, we did have that tornado on the ground as of now.
You said funnel or tornado?
It says possible funnel or local. Okay, sorry. We just have now one here. Weather Forecast Office Topeka issues local storm report reported by Train Spotter and EM at Road 40 and Highway 99 south of Olpe. Lasted briefly before lifting. So even if this is not on the ground, it seems that we did have a confirmed, reliable report of a tornado here with this same storm within this same quadrant here of this area of southeastern Lyon County.
Okay.
So again, watching this very closely.
Thank you, Daniel. Okay, looks like they had an update coming in just a moment ago. I hear the shrieking from the computer there.
And, yep,
6:50. What's this update say? Go ahead, Daniel.
Until 7:30 p.m., we have the tornado warning for southwestern Coffey County. At 6:49 p.m., the severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 7 miles northeast of Madison, moving southeast at 20 miles per hour. Ping pong ball-sized hail are what we're looking for that hail-sized, and of course, this storm that does have a history of producing tornadoes and may very well be still continuing to drop one or forming a funnel cloud at the moment.
Thank you, Daniel. Okay, so as we were mentioning a little while ago, it looked like this rotation was heading right for the southern part of Coffey County. So now we have that tornado warning. That's what we expected to see here. So it's going until 7:30 now. So we had the first warning in southeast Lyon that goes until 7 p.m. So that's this one. That's this area that's in southeast Lyon County. The National Weather Service, as Daniel was reading to us, has added this new tornado warning right there that goes in the southwest part of Coffey County. Burlington, you're not officially in this warning yet. You've got a few minutes before that would arrive. Gridley, you're right on the edge of it. You should be taking cover right now in Gridley. So we have the looks like it may have touched down a brief tornado just south of Olpe a while back, at least a funnel cloud. It may have been a brief tornado that touched down. We're not 100% sure on the details on it just yet, but a trained spotter was watching that. So the rotation now is moving into the southwest part of Coffey County shortly. So when they issue something like this, we still got a few minutes here. It's 6:52. So we're still a few minutes from the Lyon County event expiring, but the National Weather Service went ahead and put the tornado warning out into Coffey County out ahead of it. So it's possible, and I'd say it's even likely, it will move out of Lyon County shortly, and then become strictly a Coffey County issue.
Do you want us cutting in? Do you want us live on TV now?
On TV?
Yeah.
Are we on TV now?
Not yet. We just have Facebook going on right now.
I'm live on TV? I'm on TV. I am, yes. Okay. We're on TV. Good. Yeah, stream me everywhere you can.
Okay.
All right, so we've got Southwest Coffey in the new warning here, and Southeast Lyon County is in the warning that will be expiring here in just a few minutes. So going back to the velocity mode here, the rotation on this is going to be right about there. You've got the red pixels going away from the radar, the green pixels toward the radar. So your rotation there in the southeast part of Lyon County, moving into Coffey County shortly. So if you're in Gridley, you are about 6, maybe 7 miles to the southeast of this. If you're in the town of Burlington, you're still about maybe 11, 12 miles to the east of this. And as I mentioned a few moments ago, towns like Burlington's not in this thing right now. So if you're in Burlington, I'm not telling you to take cover right now. You are just outside of the actual polygon of the warning. So Burlington, this is not a good time to go grab dinner or something. If you're in Burlington, I would do things like have your shoes ready just in case we tell you to take cover. Keep watching us. If you have friends or family around Burlington, maybe call them and tell them turn the TV on or watch our live stream. We have that going as well. And just be ready. So Burlington, your assignment right now is pay attention. I mean, that's it. You're going to have a severe storm moving through, but I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't go out and run errands right now or something like that. Gridley, you are just barely outside of this warning area, but you should be paying close attention to this. And I think I would take cover there in Gridley anyway right now, as that's awfully close to you. We'll zoom back in on this. The southeast part of Lyon County and the northwest part of Coffey County, you are in this activity right now. So here's the update on this one. The tornado warning, 7:30, Weather Service said it was 7 miles northeast of Madison, moving southeast at 20, so it's slowed down a bit. Ping pong ball size hail is possible with this, and they say it's going to move across southwest Coffey County, and again, moving about 20 miles per hour to the southeast. So again, if you're in Burlington, this is, you're just right on the edge of it, and I would not say in Burlington that you are not in the risk. I'm just saying that right now you're not in the tornado warning, so you have a couple of minutes before this would move in that direction. Let's time it out again from the area that looks like we'd have the highest chance of a tornado touching down. It's going to be right about there, so we'll take it to the east, and they said 20 miles per hour, so I'll do east and then southeast. So we do east at 20. You'd have it in Burlington at 7:26 p.m. if it turns more east instead of southeast. If it goes straight to the southeast right here, then we're looking at Gridley at 7:12 and Leroy at 7:46. Southern Coffey County High School at 7:46 would be the time of arrival there. Still, that's about 50 minutes away. So since this thing is moving slower now at just 20 miles per hour, it's going to put your times even farther out. So the southeast part of Lyon County, the rotation is now out of Lyon County. So the tornado warning for southeastern Lyon County is still in place. I'll say that unofficially, the rotation looks to me like it's out of Lyon County. So I know the warning there's not going to go past 7. But southeast Lyon County, you're almost in the clear from this. Again, if you're in Emporia or Neosho Rapids or Americus or anywhere else farther north, you don't have any worries with this. It's not your problem. It's going to be a problem for Coffey County at this point. It's moving farther and farther away from folks that are in areas like Emporia. All right, Daniel, update coming in on the chat. What do you got over there?
Continued tornado warning, hail of about 1.5 inches for Coffey, Kansas, or for Coffey County, 6:55 p.m. Yep, the storm capable of producing a tornado is located 8 miles northwest of Gridley, still moving southeast at that same speed, 20 miles per hour. Ping pong ball sized hail is expected with this. And again, we don't have further confirmation in addition to what we received earlier from that report at around 6:32 p.m., but this is the same storm where this report was issued, or at least recorded earlier. So this does have a history of producing funnel clouds and possibly a tornado on the ground, so we need to take all the precautions we possibly can here if we are in the vicinity of this system.
All right, thank you, Daniel. So again, this will be moving out of the southeast part of Lyon County shortly. And if the National Weather Service hasn't already sent out a statement they're going to drop it, they will momentarily. This is not going to be continuing for the southeast part of Lyon. All right. Possible tornado 8 miles northwest of Gridley. All right, so we've got possible tornado 8 miles northwest of Gridley is where the Weather Service sees its rotation at this point. I'm going to go back to velocity here. And I'm going to take this, map and go 8 miles northwest from Gridley. As they see the rotation. So it's going to be kind of in this area. They're looking at that rotation here as being possible for producing a tornado. If that's where it is, then you'd be looking at this heading toward Burlington. I'm going to zoom this back out, and it looks to me like it's sped up a little bit, actually. So the rotation that they're saying would be northwest of Gridley. Yeah, I think that's more east of Gridley. So kind of just coming right across the county line there into Coffey County. I'll tell you what, Burlington, you guys should be ready for this thing. There's an update coming in here. All right, Lyon County is being dropped. So Lyon County, you're good. And I want to look at this reflectivity here again with you. So this is a consistent rotation that's showing up with this. And another thing we look at is this storm, once it's getting farther and farther away from the actual Doppler radar, so the signatures look different the farther you get. So when it moves along in time, things do start to look different. But the rotation is right in this area, really just northwest to straight north of Gridley. This is where your tornado would be if it's on the ground at this point. Heading east, northeast, and southeast. So Burlington, you're not officially in this tornado warning yet. And at speed of 20, 25 miles per hour, it's not going to get into Burlington in the next 5 minutes. It's going to take probably 15 if it were to get to you. But Burlington, you know, I certainly wouldn't go out running any errands right now or do anything. I would stick close to the TV and just be ready in case this makes more of a northerly move. Burlington, you should be ready for this. I'm not telling you to take cover just yet, but, you know, even if it was tornado on the ground, you still have 20 minutes before it arrived there. Gridley, if it's 7 or 8 miles north of you, that means it's probably going to miss you just miss you to the north. So in Gridley, I'd say you're getting closer to being out of this danger here. At Leroy, you've got about a half hour before this would be your problem. And again, around Burlington, I'm concerned about you guys right now if this continues to make its way kind of to the east. And there's another signature. That's more of a rotation there. It's just northwest of Gridley showing up in that sweep. All right. All right, back over here to the velocity again. What we've got here is this rotation. It's kind of to the north or northwest of Gridley and moving to the east and southeast where areas like Burlington and Leroy. So you are in the path of this. Take this rotation. You're going to have it moving to the east or southeast. So Burlington, Leroy, Westphalia, right along Highway 75, in between 58 Highway and Burlington, that area is where the highest likelihood of a tornado would be over the next 30 to 45 minutes or so. So again, this may have been a tornado that touched down a while ago, just to the south of Olpe. And the tornado warning itself continues over there into the southwest part of Burlington. I'm going to draw the shape of the storm here. This is this is part of the supercell here. You see to the north there near Burlington, extending all the way to the northern part of Coffey County. If I take us back in time a little bit and get back over into Lyon County, you can see that a little while ago when this was issued, the head of that storm was much smaller. So go forward in time again, and you can see the top part of it really is expanding. So the overall area of the storm is bigger, and quite possible that it's more powerful than it was a few minutes ago. But that rotation, the southwest part of Coffey County, is still consistently showing rotation and can put down a tornado at any time if it hasn't already. Taking the rotation back in time a little bit, just about here is where we had a report that either a funnel cloud or tornado touched down. It's going to be right about there. And then rolling it forward in time, that rotation, you can see now, is located right about there, just to the north of Gridley at this point, and heading to the east, southeast, kind of toward Burlington and toward Leroy, are in the path of this. Again, so a tornado warning going until 7:30, and also hail that may be the size of a ping pong ball. It's right at 1.5 inches diameter. So Weather Service is saying from this, and our radar indications there don't show it being a massive hail event at this point. It's been meandering between maybe golf ball size and quarter size. It's kind of back and forth, and right now they're saying that 1.5-inch diameter hail is a possibility. Daniel, anything new?
Nothing new here from the National Weather Service. An expiration for the severe storm warning in Lyon County, which is expected. That is now pretty much moved out of the area, but the current warnings still for both the severe storm and the tornado remain in place. And so again, if you're in that area, southwestern Coffey County, in and around Burlington, New Strawn, Gridley, you'll want to be paying attention very closely here over the next at least half an hour until this warning is set to expire at 7:30.
All right, thank you, Daniel. And I am kind of scanning the sky there from our tower camera. It's in just a spot where it's hard to pick it out. Look.
Good late Sunday evening, everybody. I'm meteorologist Nick Kelly, keeping an eye on continuing strong severe storms across parts of the Ozarks. In fact, we just had a new severe thunderstorm warning covering a good portion of the northern Ozarks from areas north of Bolivar, Buffalo, Lebanon, encompassing areas west of Waynesville, Camdenton, Osage Beach, and Jordan. That's a severe thunderstorm warning until 11:45. But the main reason why we hopped on the air, because we noticed some tightening rotation for the part of the line working away from Max Creek and away from the intersection of US 54 and Missouri Highway 73. That is why we have a tornado warning for extreme southern parts of Camden County, northeastern Dallas, and northwestern Laclede County, north of Lebanon. This includes areas around Eldridge and areas north and east of Buffalo, Urbana, and Lewisburg until 11:45. As far as the general motion of this storm was strengthening as it was working through Warsaw, Cole Camp, Benton counties, and near Fristow. It wasn't severe as it worked through that part of the Ozarks. However, as the storm started to swing across Camden County, we've noticed the southern end start to speed up and a little bit of inflow near Max Creek trying to spur up some rotation. So if we go in for a tighter look, it doesn't look overly impressive right now, but we have at times seen this rotation tighten up. The closest spot will be south and east of Max Creek, and again, away from the intersection of US 54 and Missouri Highway 73. So we're talking about areas southeast of Max Creek, northeast of Tunis, north of Kelt, near White City, and this should stay just to the south of Camdenton, southwest of the Lake of the Ozarks. But nonetheless, this is rotation that we're keeping an eye on because we don't have a big tornado threat, but like we've been saying throughout the day, anything that can tap into a little bit of a backing wind or a south or a southeasterly breeze, as these storms work on through, it could try to spin up a brief tornado. As of now, I haven't seen any confirmations of that, but that is something I want to continue to keep a close eye on as we go through the next half an hour to 45 minutes. So with that said, we'll take a look at a few other parameters of this storm and just take our time with it since we're deep into the night here across the Ozarks. As far as the hail potential here, I'm not too concerned about the hail threats with this storm. Normally with a complex of storms like this, we're talking about hail sizes no greater than quarters on a general basis. However, penny to almost quarter size hail, you could be seeing a little bit of that as the storm works just to the north of Max Creek. But let's take a look at the storm track here, see how this wants to track. And before I do, I want to take a quick double look at the tornado warning and see how fast that rotation and the storm in general wants to move. It is to the east at 35 miles per hour, which is what we have it at already. So what we're going to do is take the whole leading edge, if it can let me do it, of these thunderstorms. In fact, I'm going to just step off to the side for a moment and I'll just draw it on the computer over here. So in general, we'll do the whole leading edge of the line first, take it to the east over the next hour. So in terms of the storm in general, this will be near Kennington by 11:27. But again, Kennington, I don't think the tornado threat is going to be coming at you. I think it'll be just to your south. But still, the storm itself will be working in at 11:27. Osage Beach by 11:32. Brumley by 11:48. And if we get new warnings continuing this into, let's say northwestern parts of Pulaski County, this could be near Stoutland by 11:58, Richland by 12:05, and Crocker by about 12:13, which would almost be about the time that this could be near Waynesville and Fort Leonard Wood. Now let's track the tornado warning, the rotating portion of this line of thunderstorms that is continuing to move to the east as well at 35 miles per hour. So if we take this out, focus on that part of the rotating line, few communities pop up on the map here. Maybe Ira, Hahatonka, and Bidwell between now and about 11:34. So if you want to be specific, Hahatonka by 11:28, Bidwell by about 11:34, and that should be just where, let's say, Camden and Pulaski County, the county line, that's where it should be by about 11:35 or so. As long as we're here, let's take a quick breather here and let's break down what else we're looking at in terms of thunderstorms across the rest of the area, because we are still continuing to track another severe thunderstorm warning, and actually this one also has a tornado warning for the storm working away from Taney County. So I'm seeing this for the first time as you are, so let's get a fresh look at what this one is doing. This is a tornado warning for northeastern Taney and northwestern Ozark County in south central Missouri until 11:45. Let's see, the storm capable of producing a tornado located near Taneyville or 10 miles east of Forsyth and Rockaway Beach, moving to the east at about 30 miles per hour. And at times, I've been keeping an eye on the storm behind the scenes for the past hour, and there have been signs that this, especially to the south of Bradleyville, just to the north of 160, right in here, at times the radar looked like it was trying to show the storm rotating and maybe leading to a thundercloud or possibly producing a tornado. But now it looks as though it's tapping into a little bit of instability and a good deal of winds that's trying to get the storm to rotate enough to try and spin something up in the southern parts of the Ozarks. So with that said, let's switch over to the velocities or to look at the wind inside the thunderstorm to see what exactly is going on. And first impressions here, it doesn't look very impressive, any part of this thunderstorm that prompted the tornado warning. With that said, if I had to pinpoint an area of suspicion, it's near the small community of Hercules along Missouri Highway 125. We're talking about, for more references, north of Reuter, north of the intersection of 160 and Missouri Highway 125, and south of Bradleyville. So, given that we have two tornado warnings on here, we're going to stay with these for a few more minutes just to make sure that we aren't seeing anything confirmed in terms of reported tornadoes. But so far, both tornado warnings we have in progress are just radar indicated, which is certainly a good thing. We don't want it to go beyond any more than that. And in addition to that, the storm's capable of producing some ping pong ball size hail. So with that said, I am going to get a storm track on this, take this to the east at about 30 miles per hour. And what I'll do is, given how this could be a storm where rotations could pop up anywhere along the southern edge of this thunderstorm, we'll take the whole leading edge of the southern part of the storm and track it out for you. So 11:25 now, so right on top of Hercules, at least the main rotating part of this thunderstorm where something could try to spin up within a short period of time. Long Run by 11:40, Thornfield by 11:49, and Notting Hill by 11:56. Unless anything changes or unless this decides to take more of a turn toward the southeast, Theodosia, you're technically in the tornado warning polygon, so if you are getting the alert on our KY3 First Alert weather app, we want you to just play it safe, go ahead, get to your safe place. And the same for the tornado warning up north. You want to get into the basement if you have it. If you don't, central bathroom, central closet, central hallway, any interior room with as many walls between you and the outside and away from windows. And give this a good deal of time, then you'll be given the all clear once these tornado warnings expire. So that's the latest on that tornado warning. So given how we have 2 tornado warnings on the map right now, what I'm going to do is bring the radar back up here, and I'm going to hop back to the Weather Center, our First Alert Weather Center, to see if we have any confirmed reports of anything in either of those tornado warnings. But thankfully, for the most part, I do not see any confirmed reports of tornadoes in progress. Fortunately, we just have radar indicated rotations with both tornado warning polygons, which, if you're just joining us on this late Sunday night, being woken up by storms or any of these tornado warnings that are out near Kenneton, Eldridge, and east of Urbana, or for the tornado warning east of Branson, west of Gainesville, along the north of Highway 160, those are just radar indicated tornado warnings. We're seeing some rotation on radar. So again, if you're just joining us, we will take our time and we will just see the latest on these warnings. Again, the tornado warning out for northeastern Dallas, northwestern Laclede, and south central Camden County is in effect until 11:45. Just radar indicated rotation with that, and we'll get a fresh look at the velocities on that on radar in a moment. But again, if anybody around Branson or eastern Taney County or western parts of Ozark County happen to be just turning on the TV right now, wondering what's going on, we do have another tornado warning for the eastern parts of Taney County, western parts of Douglas County along, I believe, Missouri Highway 95 and east of Missouri Highway 76. This is in effect until 11:45 as well. But with the way this storm is structured, this is looking like the more prolific hail maker, with the hail within that thunderstorm capable of going up to, I believe, ping pong ball size hail, which would be 1.5 inches in diameter. So given that we've gone over the timing of the warning in terms of when it will expire, let's get a fresh look at any potential areas of rotation in here. And what I'm going to do is grab the telestrator and highlight a couple of spots. You could maybe argue a couple areas of, it's not strong rotation, but it's certainly something that has my attention, as these areas of rotation east of Hercules, north of Nance, in extreme eastern parts of Taney County continue to work eastward away from Missouri Highway 125. So those are a couple of areas of rotation that I want to keep a close eye on as we go through the next several minutes. And just to do another double check of the storm track, moving it to the east at 30 miles per hour. So we'll just say along the leading edge of that, take it to the east. We will have some of those areas of rotation near Nance, if not just to the north of Nance, by about 11:33, Pond Fork by 11:42, and that's the point that the storms will be mainly in western parts of Douglas County. Thornfield by 11:48, Summit City by 11:54, and near Noble by 11:57. And in the meantime, just to make sure we do our due diligence, we can switch over to the correlation coefficient. And this is what we would use to track for any potential tornado debris. And I gotta say, the presentation here is looking rather messy, although that's to be expected with some of these radar returns at times, no matter what time of the day it is. Let's see here. Just taking a quick look. I got that area circled, so let's just see if it matches up with any potential areas of rotation. Can't say for sure if we have anything spinning up, but given the area that I circled is more in line with maybe some hail or some rain mixed in with some very large hail, I would not say that was a tornado in progress in eastern parts of Taney County. That being said, that tornado warning is still in progress, so if you are joining us from areas near Hercules, 125 between Bradleyville and to the northwest of Nance, and then working down toward Theodosia, north along Missouri Highway 95 near Long Run, Hammond, Thornfield, and Foyle. It's best to play it safe. Go ahead and be sure that you are in your safe place. Get into your tornado shelters until the warning expires, which again will be at about 11:45. So give this about another 14 minutes, and then we will reassess the situation to see if you can be given the all clear. Let's switch over to the northern tornado warning. You can see there, Dallas County, you are out of the tornado warning. So for northeastern Dallas County, you will be given the all clear for this storm at least. It's still raining with moderate to heavy rainfall and of course, with plenty of lightning out there. But you are still also under a severe thunderstorm warning, so I wouldn't be surprised if we had some wind gusts at times near 60 miles per hour. Try to make things sound a little bit scary outside, but northeastern Dallas County, you are out of the tornado warning for the time being. In the meantime, the tornado warning will continue for Camden County and Laclede County. We're talking about south central Camden County and northern Laclede County, and especially areas between Camdenton and just to the north of Carroll Junction along Missouri Highway 5. So that is the main area with the northern tornado warning, where we still have some signs of rotation. So what I'm going to do is switch back over to the storm relative velocities. And fortunately, this does not look like tight rotation whatsoever. So for the time being, I do not see an immediate threat for a tornado or funnel clouds trying to spin up, let's say near Bidwell or south of Camdenton along Missouri Highway 5, which would take you all the way down to Lebanon and I-44 in central Laclede County. With that being said, let's just make sure that we stay on top of things. We'll go back to reflectivity, and we will get a fresh storm track for this tornado warning, which also should expire within the next 12 minutes or so by about 11:45. So we will take this to the east at about 35 miles per hour. So in terms of that broad area of rotation, which is thankfully all that it is right now, we'll still take this to the east, and just to play it safe, we'll take this east over the next hour, which would be including northern parts of Pulaski County. This rotating part of the thunderstorm would be near Stoutland by 11:47, Richland by 11:58. This could potentially also be near Crocker by 12:11. If this were to clip Waynesville, it will be the northern parts of Waynesville, north of Fort Leonard Wood by 12:16, and potentially near Devil's Elbow by about 12:29. But in terms of the overall severe thunderstorm warning polygon, that's the warning with this cluster of storms that's covering up a lot of real estate. So we've got this moving to the east as well at about 35 miles per hour, which again, this severe thunderstorm warning still covers northern parts of Dallas County. Technically, the warning still includes parts of northeastern Polk and eastern parts of Hickory County, but this is mainly an issue for Camden County, central and eastern Camden County, northern Laclede County, and you can even argue northeastern parts of Dallas County. Until we hit 11:45. Other than that, a couple areas of broad rotation with that. 60 mile per hour wind gust is the other main issue with this thunderstorm that continues to move east at about 35 miles per hour. So we'll do another storm track for the entire line of storms. So this would take it near Stoutland by 11:49. Again, Crocker 12:11, Waynesville at 12:18, potentially near Dixon by 12:25, and Arlington by about 12:39. While we're here, we'll take a quick look, actually before we touch base on the separate severe thunderstorm warning polygon covering Waynesville, Fort Leonard Wood, southern Pulaski County, southern Phelps, and eastern parts of Laclede County. Let's just make sure we don't miss anything with the tornado warning for eastern Taney and western parts of Ozark County. We are going to go back to the storm relative velocities. And again, the radars signatures here don't look really impressive, if I'm quite honest. In fact, I'm going to go back to the wall over here and point out a few things for you all. Again, if you're just joining us in this part of the Ozarks, eastern Taney County, well to the east of Branson, well to the east of Highway 76, this is a broad area of rotation here. Unfortunately, looking back in communications with the National Weather Service and other spotters in the field, I have not, thankfully, seen anything threatening try to spin up. Since we don't have any of these greens or reds on the radar, winds in the, or colors in the green are winds blowing toward the radar in Springfield. The reds are winds blowing away. None of these are especially tight, although I do want to double check the what looks like a little bit of rotation. Actually, that's not rotation. That's part of the tornado warning polygon running up to the areas of wind toward the radar near long run. So if anything was to try to spin up, it doesn't look impressive right now. It looks really broad, and it will be right on the Taney-Ozark County line, working away from Hercules, away from Missouri Highway 125, and trying to approach areas near Long Run and Thornfield along Missouri Highway 95. You can see Theodosia, technically you're in that tornado warning polygon, especially the northern and western sides of Theodosia. But again, if you're in this polygon, just be best rather to play it safe and go to your safe place, your designated tornado shelter. Basement if you got it. If not, first floor is fine, and you want to put yourself between you want to actually get yourself in the most center part of your home with as many walls between you and the outside. And in many cases, that's going to be an interior closet, bathroom, or a hallway with no windows and no outside walls. So we will step off the wall for a moment here, and unless we see any new reports, we might need to take a brief break away so that I can take care of a few warnings behind the scenes and notifications too. But thankfully, again, I am not seeing anything alarming in terms of any confirmed tornado reports. Everything still is thankfully just radar indicated. Although I will say we are getting a couple of storm reports in here. Let's see, 2 miles west of Branch back in Camden County when those storms were pushing through. Looks as though a tree fell down on a house. So that's something that we'll continue to keep an eye on, and we'll keep an eye out for any other potential damage reports as these storms continue to pass on through. With that said, I am going to take a fresh look at this tornado warning again, move it to the east at about 30 miles per hour. And what we're going to do, take the most probable area of rotation, even though it's still broad right now. And if by chance we have any additional warnings go out for the rest of Ozark County, let's play it safe. Let's take it across the rest of the county over the next hour. This could be near Thornfield within the next 9 minutes. In fact, let me move the storm track box. It's 11:39, so Thornfield maybe within the next 8 minutes or so. Noble by 11:56, Almartha by 12:02, Gainesville by 12:14, and that will be the southern parts of the storm if anything tried to spin up and ride along, if not just to the north of U.S. Highway 160. Hartonville by 12:21, and near Elijah, and maybe the far eastern parts of the county by about 12:45. Before we take a quick break so that we can regather and get fresh information, I do, while we're here, want to touch base on that new severe thunderstorm warning that is causing some issues for technically eastern parts of Laclede County, but it looks as though primarily southern parts of Pulaski County and the far southern parts of Phelps County, mainly close to Edgar Springs. So we're talking about areas well to the south and west of Rolla. This severe thunderstorm warning, in fact, I apologize. Let me get a proper query box on here for you with the latest on the warning. This will be in effect until 12:15. The storm doesn't look impressive all on its own, and when you dig into the specifics, it does not look impressive right now. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts possible, and at least some penny-size hail, with the strongest of the storm, which looks to be from about Missouri Highway 17, just to the west of Fort Leonard Wood, near Hanna and Cookville, before 17 runs all the way down to Roby in far northern parts of Texas County. So let me quickly just double check. Northeast at 35 miles per hour. So same forward speed. So this will be kind of paralleling I-44 as it continues north and east. So this storm on its own, unless it gets caught up with the storms coming in from the west, should be near Waynesville or on top of Waynesville and Fort Leonard Wood by about 11:48, Devil's Elbow by 12:01, Arlington by 12:16, and near Doolittle as you continue along I-44 by about 12:25. And just before, let me just see here, we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning. Haven't seen any indications that a new tornado warning is on the way, but a bigger severe thunderstorm warning polygon covers, goodness, Dallas, Wright, Miller, Laclede, Pulaski, Texas, Phelps, and Camden counties, all in effect until 12:30. So the entire line stretching from the Lake of the Ozarks and Osage Beach, arcing back down to the east of Camdenton and just knocking on the door of Lebanon, all of that is capable of producing wind gusts at the very least of 60 miles per hour and maybe some penny-sized hail within the strongest cores of those thunderstorms. And we have that moving to the southeast at 40 miles per hour. So let's make a quick adjustment to the storm track. Let's take this to the southeast. So this would be coming into Lebanon within the next few minutes if it's not on top of Lebanon already. Richland by 11:51. Crocker just a minute after midnight. Let's say Waynesville by 12:08. Dixon by 12:14. Spring Creek and Arlington around 12:24 or 12:25. Before we take a quick commercial break so I can speak with our crew behind the scenes here, I just want to make sure that we're not seeing anything mischievous with those tornado warning polygons in progress. Not thankfully seeing any signs of immediate rotation or a tornado trying to develop as the rotating part of the storm moves out of the tornado warned polygon, but it is something that we will still keep a very close eye on as we go through the next few hours. And to make sure this area of rotation, let's see here, just near Long Run, Hammond, Thornfield, and about ready to approach Missouri Highway 95. I want to do a double check on that very carefully before we make any decisions on whether or not to send it back to programming for a little bit here. Let's see. I've highlighted a suspicious area of rotation. Reflectivity still wants that within the rain and maybe the hail, but in terms of the correlation coefficient, I'm not seeing any debris being lofted, so I cannot confirm a tornado with the rotation that is working out of Taney County. In fact, it's already out of Taney County and in the western parts of Ozark County. That being said, these tornado warning polygons, unless new ones are issued, will expire within the next few minutes. Nonetheless, we are still going to keep an eye on all these thunderstorms until our severe threat comes to an end by about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So as long as you keep it tuned here, we will keep you updated. In the meantime, we will send you back over to programming.